get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Drinking in Kamurocho, episode 4. I hope you guys are having a good day. I've been running into some technical difficulties. Hey, David, you can see the screen on the stream, right? Because I got a concern about one of the images that we have on there.
Oh, I cannot, but give me a second.
I still have your safe 5% with code DCJRPGs on 2Game. Is that correct?
Okay, yeah, I can see it. No, that's not good anymore.
Oh, shit. Well, hold on. Let me just take that off right quick. Very professional here on Drinking in Kamurocho, episode 4. Of course, I am King Narakami45. He is David Cass JRPGs. Tell him how you're doing today, David.
It's been a long day, so I'm just ready. Drink in hand, as always with this show. We always have a drink in hand. It's a must. And yeah, I'm excited to be here because this game is looking really good.
Dude, this game has pretty much taken over my life so far. Thank you all for joining us so far. I want to shout out to some people in the chat right quick who have been patiently waiting on us. Monica Rose saying, "We live." How you doing, Monica? The James Rambling Show say, "Let's go, woohoo, this amazing channel is back." Did you hear that, David? They call us amazing.
That's awesome. Shout outs.
Liam Omega, friend of the channel. What's up, Liam?
Mm-hmm.
H2DK. What's up, man?
Hey.
Monica Rose again saying, "Hi, King. Hi, David. Hi, Monica." Hope you all are having a great day. So, David, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is coming up in 3 days.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Crazy.
Yakuza 8 just kind of just sprang up on us. Just out of nowhere.
That's because of how RGG's pumping out these releases. Because if you think about it, 7 was November 2020.
Right.
It's been 3 years already. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Okay, I think I fixed our little DC. Don't use that code, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to 2game.com.
It doesn't work anymore,
yeah,
sorry.
You're going to be shit out of luck. Yes, we are very close to the release of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and thankfully today, the reviews for the game came out, and I gotta say, they're looking pretty legit, don't you think?
Highest rated Like a Dragon / Yakuza game of all time.
Now, before we go, you know how we go in Drinking Kamurocho podcast. It wouldn't be Drinking Kamurocho without the actual drinks. So, no surprise here. Me, King Narakami, I have my patented Fireball and a Wild Cherry Pepsi Zero. What do you have today, David?
Classic good old gin tonic, as always.
A little something on the side, too?
Yeah. You know me well. A little something on the side. Yes, that's correct.
Guys, before we went live, I just gotta tell y'all the story right quick. I was trying to call David on Discord so we could set up the stream and everything. And I sent out like the link saying we're live and everything, and I made the thing live, and I tried to talk to him. Apparently it kicked me out of the Discord stream because he was doing something outside or something. And so it's like 6:30 and we're supposed to be going live, and I don't see him, and all of a sudden I open up Discord and he's already there, and I felt like such a dumbass.
Very, very professional show as always. But hey, why don't you tell the good listeners here what you prepared for tonight's show?
Absolutely shit. Nothing.
It's gonna be off the cuff, right?
This man prepared, the thumbnail and everything and put me in charge of topics for the night. And guess what? I didn't send him a list. But we're just going to go with the flow here. A few more shout-outs before we really get started. Coogan, how you doing? Yes, we are live, Like a Dragon hype. Liam asks, will Cody save the Tojo clan? Yes, he will make it a Tokyo nightmare. The Tokyo nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Max says, listening while on the freeway, so if y'all scream, I might swerve and crash.
All the Omis are here. That's awesome. Thank you all for watching.
James, you know me, how I do it, so I'm fucking loud and obnoxious. So, y'all just gonna have to deal with that. James Rambling Show says, it's like half 11 p.m. in Scotland, almost 2 days, so Yakuza 8 for me. I'm getting physical copy. Yes, we are both getting a physical copy as well.
Of course.
I have taken the day off Friday to play all day. David, I know you're kind of waiting for yours to get delivered. I made sure to get a actual, physical copy in store, so that'll be waiting for me Friday. I'll wake up in the morning and go get it, and you're just kind of hoping and praying yours makes it on time, right?
It won't be. It won't be. Hasn't shipped yet, so I'm
Ah,
definitely not playing on Friday, sadly. But on
shit.
Monday, I should have it. So
And you don't have Game Pass anymore, do you?
I don't. I could get it back, but my physical copy is the PS5 version that I pre-ordered, so I'll just be waiting. Sadly,
Right. But yeah,
which is
guys,
fine. Okay.
Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth this Friday. Let's go ahead and start off with some really good news about the game. As you can see on our thumbnail, a 90% on Metacritic. It is a Metacritic must-play title right here. Now, I want to say I'm surprised, David, but at the same time, I'm not very surprised by this news. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
7 was such a complete and refined experience that you kind of expect that again. But with Metacritic, well, the thing to consider is those are media people, right? So they don't play these styles of games too often. So it's really good to see it that high, Rick. That's really cool.
right, definitely. So I'm looking right now on Metacritic and everything and what the reviews are and everything. Based on 70 reviews for the PS5, I don't know why it doesn't give me like an all rating right now. But right now, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth on PS5 is standing at a 90 Metacritic score. On the Xbox, based on 14 critic reviews, it's sitting at a 93. A 93 for the Xbox Series S version, and an 89 on PC. So that pretty much all says universal fucking acclaim.
Yep.
I think Devil Leon 7 said it best when I saw his tweet about it. IGN has always given Yakuza games and Judgment games 7s all across the board, basically.
Bruh.
And to see the series, they give it a 9. They give this a 9. Like, that's crazy. Like a Dragon has garnered so much mainstream attention. And I think you saw my tweet the other day that I said, it's so crazy seeing this franchise when I started in 2017 when it was pretty much nothing with the release of Yakuza 0. And then just grow and grow into what it is today. It's just crazy to see. And for it to get the full recognition, to me, it's heartwarming, don't you think?
It's really, really awesome to see, and it's now a big title when you think about it. Like when I do watch out for the Sega Sammy fiscal reports, because most of the time you can find interesting information in there. And I can see throughout the years, like the RGG and Like a Dragon logo becoming bigger and bigger on their slides. So even at Sega's eyes, it's getting like it's one of their big IPs at this point, in-house at least.
Which is crazy to see, because I think I could speak for you when I say that, us starting Yakuza and everything, we didn't see this coming at all. Like, how much love it's getting right now. Let us guys know in the comment section if you're getting the game day one, what you think about the review scores. We'll talk about some here in a second. And let us know how the volume and everything is, because I'm a dumbass and I'm streaming this on OG OBS, and I had to enter a stream key and everything. So it's heading, this stream is hanging by a thread right now. Just let us know how the audio and everything. Liam says, King getting a 4-day weekend. Yes, I am getting off early Thursday. I have Friday off, and I took Monday off as well. So I say, fuck everybody else. I'm playing my game. I cannot wait.
That's awesome. Lucky
David,
bitch.
it's not too late to cancel your order and go get it in stores.
I'm good. I have something on Friday night and on Saturday night, so it's kind of, I won't be able to play much anyways, so I can wait until
Yeah,
Monday.
you're going to be sucking me off while I'm playing the game.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, you know you're right. All right, so I want to kind of go ahead and start kind of looking at everything, like all the reviews and everything. Try to take a look at everything. We'll go over them. Of course, I won't put it on screen because this fucking thing is hanging by a thread. This stream is hanging on by a thread right now. But let's look at some of them that's come up. What was some big... I know there's some hundreds. Some of the outlets I haven't really seen before, like the Enemy, CG Magazine. I'll give it again 100. Now, let's start from like the lowest score. 4players.de gave it a 70 overall. Now,
That's the lowest score?
that's what I'm seeing.
Crazy.
I could be wrong, but that's the lowest one I'm seeing right now, a 70.
Okay.
Which, it's not bad. So, what does it say? Despite an exciting story, the second Ichiban outing suffers from a somewhat lengthy grind and filler passages that artificially stretch out the playing time. Have these guys never played a Yakuza game?
Filler passages, like, dude, in these stories, there's never like any moments that made me feel like, wow, this is just to add length to the game, right?
Right.
I
Now,
don't
I will
never
say,
feel that way.
in Yakuza Like a Dragon, you know how I feel about that one section of the game. Right before, I think we can bring out spoilers for Yakuza Like a Dragon, right?
I think that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been years, and we're all here for Yakuza 8 at this point. Before you fight Majima,
Mm-hmm.
in Saijima, there's this, like, the difficulty really ramps up in that fight. Like, all of a sudden you're facing like level 40 people, and all of a sudden, like, Majima, I believe it's like a level 50. I can't exactly remember. I could be 100% wrong.
Yeah.
But there's like a huge like gap in between, like, if you're just playing like the main story and everything. And luckily there's a little tower there that you can grind on that has floors and everything that I did. It took a few hours, and I did it again. It wasn't as bad the second time around, but I feel like that was a bit unnecessary. But you say you didn't have a problem with that before, right?
No, yeah, that's the thing. I feel like this was on purpose by the devs because they want people to spend more time in the side content. Like what you're talking about is late game. Like you're almost done with the game at this point. It's not the final boss, but it's right there, right?
Right.
It's one of the last few. And as you know, I do a lot of side content. I do all the sub stories in all the games because I'm just such a fan of this side content, and they make me laugh all the time. And it's basically the same thing for Like a Dragon. So I spent a lot of time in the side content, which was kind of a grind in a way. So I was able to beat that fight without additional grinding. But again, I did a lot of side content, and I didn't beat it on the first try either. I could still feel the spike that you're mentioning here, but it was not a big deal for me.
That fight wasn't easy. I can tell you that.
It
Even
wasn't.
if no,
It wasn't.
because you fought Saijima
Harder than
first.
Kiryu.
Yes, because you fought Saijima first, and then all of a sudden, this motherfucker Majima comes out and just starts kicking everybody's ass. And
Such a good fight, though.
oh, I love it. It was, it was a lot easier the second time I played it. But there's an IGN outlet, Billinlux. I'm not sure where that is. IGN gave it a 95. Infinite Wealth has made me feel like I've been on a warm, colorful, and wacky but fantastic vacation during this cold winter time. That's another thing too. This game is about Hawaii and it being hot and everything, and it's coming out. I'm sure there's snow on your ground right now, right?
It's snowing, right?
I know my fiance says this is a summer game. I can't play it right now. I'm like, it's not a summer game, really. I mean, half of the Yakuza games take place close to Christmas.
Yeah.
So
There's been one where you're in this city and it's snowing. I think it's in 5 or 4.
Yeah, 5. They're snowing. Yeah, it's literally. I mean, doesn't Yakuza 2 take place like right at Christmas too? I could be wrong.
That's possible. I know you're a fan of the hunting section for
fuck that
Sajima.
shit.
There's snow in that section.
Oh god damn, I hate that fucking. Don't even get me started on that. They go on to say the gameplay may be more the same if you look at Like a Dragon, but the game is very well put together, and there's so much you can do, and you can easily spend hours distracting from the main story with mini games and so on and so forth. God, dude, it sounds awesome. It seems like they're taking everything that they built in Yakuza 7, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and just expanding upon everything and just making an overall better game, which the game was already fantastic. It was already a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yep.
But
agreed.
They're adding stuff like you can actually, when you're in the combat, move yourself around in the circle, place yourself strategically in places, see where your attack's going, if others can follow up, and double team moves and everything. It's looking fantastic.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I have not replayed 7 after I beat it. Again, I spent almost 100 hours into it, so don't blame me, but I didn't replay it. I know you did. I think you were able to move your characters in combat, but it didn't impact the actual combat.
No, you could not.
Is that correct?
You cannot move your
Okay.
characters.
Interesting.
It moved by itself. And if you have, sometimes you'll be like, can I pick up this weapon? Can I not? The good thing is that in Infinite Wealth, you'll get like a little like comfort. I know you didn't play the demo from Gaiden. You'll get like a
I
little
have not.
right. If you go like near a weapon, you'll get a confirmation over the weapon that it's like a little circle that says, "Hey, you can use this and you can bash your enemy with it." So you don't have to have a guessing game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Can I go off tangent for a sec?
Sure.
What was your reaction when you heard that Yakuza was going turn-based with 7 when we got like the first trailers in Japan? I don't remember us discussing that, but I do remember my reaction to that.
Right. I thought it was very weird. God, when was that announced?
That was 2018, if I recall correctly.
Okay. So I wasn't really big into like turn-based games. Maybe I played Persona 5 by that time. I don't think I did. So it was really weird, but I was willing to try it because I had already played Yakuza at that point as well. But I'm like, that's a very weird decision. And I know they kind of didn't really announce it in that April Fool's video that they put on. You know, talking about the April Fool's video where it looks like turn-based combat and everything. It was supposed to be a joke, but it turned into the whole fucking game.
It was kind of a test to see fans' reaction.
I remember where I heard the news that this was happening, because I was going on a little trip for work, and I had like a meeting, and I remember getting the news in the parking lot and looking at it on my phone. I'm like, what? Like, turn-based? Like, I'm used to like Kiryu's, you just spam like square and hit triangle and pick up weapons. I'm like, how is this going to work? How did you react to it?
See, I'm sure you're expecting a certain reaction of mine for this, but it's not what you expect. Like, I was, unlike you, a big turn-based fan back in the day, and I still found it weird. Because, again, we're used to the active brawler system and everything. We're used to it, and it works well, even for me, who isn't an action fan, generally speaking. So I was like, what the hell is this? Plus the change in protagonists, which will lead me into my next topic that I want to bring up, but Ichiban, we didn't know, right? And I was like, Kiryu is so good and such a great protagonist, like peak protagonist in my opinion. They're not gonna do, no matter who this next protagonist is, he's never gonna be standing next to Kiryu, which is kind of ironic that I'm saying this right now, but this is what I had in mind. So I was kind of bummed with Like a Dragon in general before it came out, and man, was I wrong on both the gameplay and also on Ichiban, because I said it before and I'll say it again. They did the impossible with Ichiban being such a fantastic character, and he can definitely stand next to Kiryu, which is what they're giving us with this release. I'm fucking excited, dude. It's crazy.
Now, I will say, when I first saw Ichiban's, like, the first render of him, and I thought he kind of looked weird, because if you go back and look at it, he looks like, Ichiban back then looks like current Ichiban's crackhead cousin.
Pretty much.
I mean, like, it just gives up a different vibe, but now, he's the lovable, goofy teddy bear that we know him. Like, tough as nails, but not, willing to show, but not afraid to show, his, softer side and everything. Kind of like Kiryu in a lot of ways.
Yeah, for real.
I didn't know. I was under the same impression as you. I'm like, how the fuck are they going to go away from this amazing protagonist that they have in Kiryu and just like switch up everything? And I think they got it, man. They nailed it in Like a Dragon.
They were scared though. They were, because they kept Kiryu. They made sure he was in the game. They kept Majima. They kept Saijima. They were. I feel like they were scared in a bit, and at this point, he's such a good character that I'm totally fine with them focusing on Ichiban. And let's say, I know that's not the case, but if there were interviews of the devs before Infinite Wealth comes out, and they would have been saying that Kiryu is not in the game, it's all about Ichiban, I would have been fine with it.
Right. Now, that's another thing. We all know that the reviews look great and everything, so we're going to kind of go away from the reviews for a second, but how did you feel knowing that Kiryu did appear for a short time in Yakuza Like a Dragon? How did
Yep.
you feel when it was first revealed that this would be a dual protagonist game?
I don't I don't really remember, which is weird to say because I remember clearly what happened with 7, but my first reaction, I think at this point I was like anything's possible with RGG Studio, right? With what they did with Gaiden and everything, Ishin, right? So I'm at this point I'm like I don't know. I think my reaction was like, "Yep, that's just another surprise that we were not expecting." And again, I'm fine with it because I know kind of where they want to go with the story, and I'm really fine with it, especially after playing amazing Like a Dragon Gaiden,
Oh
which
man,
was absolutely peak. It really blew my expectations away. That game is insane.
right.
Very good game.
Let's get to some comments before I comment on that right quick. A lot of people say that they're getting it day one. James Ramley said, I'm getting it as soon as release date. H2DK said he pre-ordered it this morning. The reviews probably helped out a lot with that.
Oh, I bet.
Monica Rose is not getting it day one, new to the series. I have to start from Yakuza 0, but definitely want to play it once I get there. Sorry for spoiling Yakuza Like a Dragon, Monica. But hey, you're here. You chose to be here, so. But thank you for joining. Real Yakuza get under the desk support. Yes, and I get a lot of that from David. I can tell you that. Liam says, pre-ordered and preloaded. Going to get off at work at 2 a.m. Friday and not sleep to play it. I fucking respect that. I was thinking about doing something similar, and ordering a digital and getting a physical, but that's a lot of monies, especially with Persona 3 Reload a week away. Did David not play Yakuza 5? Nah, he definitely played Yakuza 5, right, David? David? Oh, he went to go jack one off, probably. Yes, he did play Yakuza 5. James Ramley, so yeah, it's winter in the UK. It's it's everything but winter here where I live. It's almost like 70 degrees. It'll be like 70 degrees Thursday. Liam says, Infinite Wealth really makes you feel like Spider-Man. IGN. Yeah, it's about an average IGN review. HUDK, this is the time of year people go to Hawaii. Is it? I guess if it's warm down there. Liam, hot take. I like Ichiban better than Kiryu. We're going to discuss that when David gets back on here. James Ramley said, I pre-ordered in late November. Yes, I pre-ordered as soon as it became available. And thanks again for joining, Monica. We really appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on this time of year. Now, as far as the dual protagonist thing goes, I know a lot of people have been like hating on it and saying, why is Kiryu back? He was supposed to have his flowers in Yakuza 6 and go off into the sunset. I'm kind of cool with it, honestly. Like, Kiryu coming back, to me, Yakuza 6 was not a perfect... David's back. David, do you agree with me? Yakuza 6 is not a perfect send-off for Kiryu. Do you think?
It's not.
It's
fine. A
good
good game. I like it more than most people do. Mm-hmm. But I get the complaints. I get the complaints.
I think if they would have just left it where he was and just let him ride off into the sunset, that's fine. I think it would have been a fine ending. But now he can really get some closure, I feel like. No, I don't hate them for bringing him back. Kiryu makes money. I don't know if it's a matter of RGG not believing in Ichiban. I don't know if it's hey, we want to give him.
Not at this point.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Not at this point. Yeah, 7 was such a big success, and they took a huge risk. So I don't think. Nah, I don't think that was the case.
Right.
I think they're bringing him back because they want him back. But is it going to be the final appearance for him? That's possible.
Man, I'm ready to cry. I cried.
I did for Gaiden.
Dude, so. I cried for Gaiden too. Oh my god. We're not going to spoil in the Gaiden yet because it's only been like 2 months. So I get it if people haven't had time to play it, but my god, dude, that you know what scene I'm talking about.
Of course.
I think it made everyone cry.
It's really good. It's really good.
Kuroda deserves an award for that.
Yep.
Like, Jesus Christ. Some of the finest damn acting I've ever seen in a video game, and I've played a lot of, those stupid Sony cinematic titles and everything. That's some of the finest acting I've ever seen in a video game. So
Absolutely amazing game
so
from
maybe
start to finish.
so maybe they just want to give Kiryu, another send off or something. I'm not sure if this is the last game. We could see more stuff in the future with him. We don't know what's going to happen. But Liam did bring up a good point earlier, and I kind of want your take on it. He says, hot take, I like Ichiban better than Kiryu. Thoughts on that?
I'm not gonna argue. I get it. I do.
Mm-hmm.
He's very different, but again, he's an absolute fantastic character. I like everything about Ichiban, and I'll even say that to Liam's point. I think the only reason why I cannot agree is because Ichiban's in one game.
Right.
I need to spend more time with it, but I can see him becoming my favorite for sure.
Yes. The Kiryu and Ichiban are so different, but they're also similar in some aspects.
Of course. Absolutely.
Like we saw that, remember all the stupid trolls and everything saying that Yokoyama took over and Kiryu started sobbing like a baby and everything, and this isn't Kiryu and everything. Dude, did you not play fucking Yakuza 3?
And 0?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I mean, Kuroda's an amazing actor, and Kiryu shows he does have a soft side, and he does have emotions, so they're similar in a lot of those aspects. Kiryu's not afraid to have his show his feelings on his sleeve or wear his heart on his sleeve sometimes. It's rarely seen, so that's what makes it so impactful, like the ending of Gaiden and everything. But that's what made it impactful. But Ichiban is more of a carefree kind of just funny, go with the flow kind of character, jokey and everything. Mm-hmm. And I think that he might take Kiryu's obviously my favorite protagonist is Akiyama. I love my man Akiyama.
He's great.
I love him. But Kiryu is also Yagami. But
we don't talk about Judgment enough.
If there's even going to be another game, it's
I hope so, man.
It's hard to say.
Kaito's in Gaiden.
Yes, he is. Kaito is in Gaiden, and that was a great sub story, wasn't it?
It really was.
I lost my shit.
You fought him,
dude. That was amazing. I just kind of wish. I wish that they would bring him back for this game. I want Kiryu. If this is Kiryu's last game, I want him to interact with so many people. Yes. They had a lot of stuff in Gaiden, especially a lot of nods to Yakuza 2. But
yep, Goda.
Oh god, Ryuji just. I love how Kiryu reacted. Ryuji wouldn't act like this.
Yeah, exactly.
It was awesome. I loved it.
It was. And that's such a small part of Gaiden. It's not even an important moment, and see, we're talking about it. It's special game.
No, I agree with Liam right here. He says infinite wealth gives Kiryu the chance to pass the torch rather than leaving the torch behind. 1000%.
Yep.
I agree with that. People said that it was too early for him to make a cameo appearance in Like a Dragon. To some extent, I can agree with that. But come on, it's Kiryu. Are we really going to be mad if he shows up?
Imagine if he was not in 7,
right?
And us getting 8 now, it would have been insane,
right?
So
or just getting Gaiden.
He was
then again, Gaiden kind of relies on him being in 7. So
yeah, good point.
So Kugan says Gaiden made the real ones cry. I cried like a baby, and I'm not afraid to.
Yeah.
I like Gaiden as a game, but that ending broke me. I 1000% agree. Kuroda acted the shit out of that scene, yes. And Liam makes another good point. Yang Ye did a pretty good job in that scene as well, if you saw the English dub of it. He did a good job, but Kuroda absolutely just fucking killed it.
Yeah, I played it with the original Japanese voices because the English patch wasn't out when I played it. So
hey, to be fair though, I don't think I could play any of the mainline games with English dub, and it's not because I'm a weeb. I played Yakuza 0 through 6 subtitled, so it wouldn't feel the same with their voices changing. You know what I'm saying?
Fair. I played 7 in English and I liked it a lot.
Right. I'm definitely going to play this one subtitled. It's not me hating on dubs or anything. I'm just so used to these voices.
Oh, that's fine. You don't have to justify yourself. I get it.
Akiyama's the GOAT. Thank you so much, Coogan. I appreciate that. Another Akiyama lover. Yagami is top 2, he says. They need to bring Tanimura back. Who?
Who?
Who? Oh,
Tanimura? Oh, Tanimura. Okay,
Who?
I remember.
Who?
No, I remember him. He was great.
Yeah, he was fine. That's all I gotta say
Fine.
about Tanimura. I think
Yeah,
I
but
said that.
you don't like Saejima, so you don't have taste in characters.
Tanimura was fine. I mentioned this on one of Devil Leon's podcasts that he's got coming up. I said he was fine, but what did his character change in the series? Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
There for a game and then just gone.
Yeah.
Maybe Yagami will make an appearance in Infinite Wealth. I really doubt it, especially with the stuff going on with his studio and everything.
Something that they can fix. I doubt it as well, but I think it's feasible. If the games did well enough, which I don't know if they did. I hope so. I love these games so much. The Judgment games, more people are playing them now, but they're still underappreciated for how good they are. They're so good. Definitely worth playing.
I know Judgment was the first game to have a dub in this. Well, technically Yakuza 1 had a dub. But you know what? The real dub wasn't until the first Judgment game. Where I think that was a big, like, kind of experimental thing for them. And it was good. From what I remember, the dub was good.
It was. I played it on PS5.
Hey,
the
Liam,
remaster.
Liam, I agree with you. Tanimura is better than Shinada. Shinada was ass, dude. I'm sorry. The baseball player.
Yeah.
He was. Like, the only thing I remember about Shinada is his obsession with Milky-chan.
Milky-chan?
Yeah, the stripper.
The milker's lady?
Milky-chan. Imagine being called Milky. I'm gonna start calling you Milky.
We can make it work.
Common Jojo says hi. Hi, how you doing, Common Jojo? Now, one thing that I really want to discuss during this, all these great reviews and everything for Infinite Wealth, but there is one glaring issue that's been a huge topic recently. New Game Plus being locked behind a paywall, $15 for DLC. Now, New Game Plus has been in RPGs for how long? I mean, forever. So, taking like a basic feature like this and hiding it behind a paywall is weird to me. Now, I don't play New Game Plus. Whenever I start a game again, I just start fresh because I want to feel like I was in that position of starting the game again before. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What are your thoughts on this whole them hiding New Game Plus behind a paywall?
You know what? People complaining, I won't go against them. I get it, and especially now that they're raising the price, plus locking that content behind the paywall, I get it. As you said, I don't do New Game Plus either. I don't have enough time to play all the games that I want to play, so I rarely replay games, and whenever I do, they're the Yakuza games, and I don't do New Game Plus either. I like to redo everything. So for me, zero fucks given, to be honest. But again, I want to stress that out. I get the complaints, and it's another shitty move from Sega, and you hate to see it. They at this point they do it way too often. There's these stupid charts for Sega releases with all these different editions for almost all their games at this point, both for Atlas games and for Sega games, and I hate to see it.
It's really stupid. Now, just because it doesn't affect us doesn't mean like we wouldn't stand up for y'all if it came to, like, if they released a survey, would you like New Game Plus being added? Of course we would. We don't play it, but at the same time, Sega shouldn't have taken a basic ass, thing that's been in every fucking game and taken it out. It's pretty scummy. I mean, you could say $15 is a lot, but we're already paying $10 more than we used to for video games. So it's almost like a $25 hike. It's just weird to me. I don't know why they're doing this. It's scummy move. I don't know if it's an RGG call, a Sega call. Um, Sega and RGG have been really weird with their DLC practices. You could remember Ishin and all those stupid like extra characters that you could buy as like cards to like do special moves and everything. That was so dumb. I like
Worthless.
the only good DLC I've seen from Sega and Sega recently is fucking the Kaido files.
That was really good.
I loved the Kaido files. That's how you do a DLC. I know recently Atlas released the Take Your Heart DLC for Persona 5 Tactica for $20, and I just couldn't bring myself to purchase it.
It's a skip.
Yeah, easily a skip. The Kaido files was amazing though. But
It was a skip for me too, dude. I played it, but once it was super cheap as DLC because I like the character so much. Because I don't do DLC. The games are too expensive, and as I said before, I have too much to play already. So I rarely get DLC. If you're too expensive or if your game wasn't like top tier for me, I'm not gonna get the DLC. Right? So Take Your Heart for Tactica. I like Tactica a lot. So once the DLC is very cheap, I'll get it. But
Like
at 20, no.
Like the Kaito files was a special stipulation for you. Like, you want to play as
really
Kaito.
was.
Like, you want
And
to play
even
as...
that, I waited for it to drop in price a little bit. So that's saying a lot for me. Again, the as an example, I bought the Soul Hackers 2 additional content DLC that there is, like for the extra dungeon and fight. And I bought that for $4 Canadian last year. Because
That
it
ain't
had
bad.
to be extremely cheap.
That
I
ain't
played
bad,
that
though.
and it's not bad. I liked it for what it was, but I think that was also around $25 when it first dropped, Canadian. Sorry. So that was too much for me. I already paid. Here, games are 80 Canadian plus tax, regular priced games. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth at 70 USD, that's 90 Canadian plus tax. And taxes here are 15%. So that's over $100 for a game.
I'm trying to see what all comes with, like, the $15 purchase that you're getting. Give me 1 second. What all comes with that 15... Okay, I'm here right now. So, if you get the deluxe edition, explore a bonus dungeon, get special Sujimon, resort guest outfits, new game plus, and more. I'm sorry, I don't think that's worth $15.
Depends on who you are and what you're looking for in games, but
if it, like, and I feel like if they included story content in this, it'd be even extra scummy because I hate the day one story content like Tactica did. Persona 5 Tactica, that take your whatever the fuck it's called. I don't give a fuck about that shit. But it was story DLC on day one, locked behind a DLC, locked behind $20 payroll. Fuck that shit. Like,
yep.
If it's ready at launch, put it in the fucking game. Like New Game Plus. What is hurting you from putting that as a free thing in the game? Like, I get games like God of War Ragnarok added New Game Plus as a post-launch patch. That's fine. It's free. Games are starting to do that now if they get enough requests. But to charge people for it, it's just shitty if you ask me.
I agree.
Like, I don't know what they're thinking. And thank God that this release at least has a physical this time around that we can buy.
Oh, for real.
Let's get to some comments right quick. Liam, I think you're going to like this one. He says, Saejima is good. Sainijima, though. Yeah.
Not wrong. Both are good. One's sexy. The other isn't.
I thought you were going to say both of them were sexy.
No, we can make it work.
Get a few drinks in you. You fall for Saejima.
Mm-hmm.
I could not. I could
Hater.
not. Hey, he's kind of mid. I'm sorry. Yes, bitch. Monica, we did miss out on Mark Hamill as Majima and Yakuza Like a Dragon, but I'm sure they did. I'm sure Mark Hamill comes with a big price nowadays. He didn't even remember himself playing as Majima in the first game. So I mean, that's all I got to know.
That's such a special character too. Like, come on, man.
Speaking of dumb Sega moves, how about QXC? You know, I'll speak on this. You don't have to, David. I get that Sega's wanting to reach out to non-fans of the game and play the game. I get it. But I think they really need to look at the character of the streamer first before they just give away a free game code to anybody that will play the game. Because I saw a clip on Twitter of him, all of his like political beliefs and everything. We can leave that at the door. We're not here to talk about that right now. But he doesn't know anything about fucking turn-based games. I saw a clip of him playing the game on Twitter that someone posted. You saw it too?
Yeah, I did.
He was doing like a block. He was trying to learn how to block in the game. And so the guy attacked him and he wasn't able to block. And so it was his turn and he's waiting for the guy to attack him again, but it's his turn and he's going, "Come on, attack me again." I'm like, "Bro, you dumbass. It's your turn." Have you never played a fucking board game or something before?
But dude, at this point, let's not turn this into an Atlas podcast again, but Atlas did it today or yesterday with another P3 reload. I read a little bit on the person doing the trailer, and it's kind of like, what the fuck? It doesn't really make sense. They're very strange. There was the same scenario with, I do want to say it, I was blessed by a sponsorship for this game. So Sega sponsored one of my videos with a trailer of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which again, thank you so much to Sega, which I doubt they're listening, but hey, still, shout outs to them for that. That was basically a dream come true for me. And even that the person, I don't know if you know the creator in that the video, the ad that they're doing for Infinite Wealth, but even that person, people were crying about his spot in the ad or something.
Are you talking about Drewski?
Yeah, that's him. Yep.
I love Drewski though.
Big dude.
He's funny as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know him, but from what I've seen, I searched for him when I saw the controversy, and he seemed fine and funny. But people were also complaining about that, so it feels like, I don't know if it's just Twitter bullshit or they're just really bad with picking people to promote their stuff. And I think it can be a little bit of both, if you ask me, because when it comes to the Sega and Atlas, their decisions sometimes feels like they kind of like shoot at a board and blind.
Liam says Sega's marketing team is just doing weird shit lately. I agree. You could say, people are going to say like, "Oh, they're just crying about this guy getting a review code and Kamurocho Bros, King Narukami didn't get one." Dude, I'd rather Sega give it to like a big streamer with a big platform. The people who are watching our stuff are probably already going to buy the game in the first place. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. Just look at the character of the person first. See if there are any controversies instead of just blindly handing out review codes. It's all I'm saying. And speaking of weird Sega marketing things, did you see that P3 Reload trailer?
Yeah, that's what I just mentioned.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they don't really they don't. That's kind of rough, but I'll just say it. Fuck it. They don't really know what they're doing sometimes. Like,
who are you marketing this to?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's really, really, really weird.
Are you marketing to fans of the Umbrella Academy like the thing that the guy is from, or what the fuck are you trying to do here? Like,
see, but you know who the person is. I don't.
I don't know who the person is. I don't know who the fuck that is.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, I just saw in the tweet, like, this is Umbrella Academy actor. I'm like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Sega's just doing some weird... I think that they've... For Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, they have marketed it well. I think the Game Awards, it being, one of the most anticipated game of the year, helped. These review scores, people really don't talk about how word of mouth can really affect a game. Like the Yakuza series.
Review scores directly impact games.
Right.
Baldur's Gate was really niche before 3 came out. And it scored a 97 on Metacritic. And look how big it is. Everyone listening knows about Baldur's Gate 3.
Right. Everyone knows about Baldur's Gate 3.
And did you know about that game, about that series before it came out? Most people would say no.
No, I didn't know that there was 2 other Baldur's Gate games.
See, I played the first or the second one on PC when I was super young, but just for a little bit at a friend's house. That's why I knew the name. But I don't know more than that about it.
Word of mouth is not talked
Yep.
about enough that really helped. Look at this series. Look at the Yakuza series. Word of
Hey,
mouth.
a game that we both like that came out 2 months before, Like a Dragon. 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim.
Right.
Flopped hardcore at launch, worked them out, almost sold 1 million.
Right. Word of mouth.
Yep.
It's not because I think review outlets were giving it good reviews as well, but it's the reviews and word of mouth. If you have both of those at the same time, that's big. Like I'm really hoping that Infinite Wealth, with all these great scores, gets at least a nomination for Game of the Year if it's as good as I think it's going to be.
Yep.
I really hope so. Now, David, now that we're done bitching about, no New Game Plus and everything, you've seen a lot of the game. Do you think you've seen too much recently from the game? I know you're kind of trying to stay away from trailers and stuff, but...
That's the thing. I have not seen much from the game. I've seen what was shown during big shows, State of Plays, the Game Awards and everything. It was marketed heavily in these shows. I saw all the trailers that were in those, but none of the other trailers. So I have not seen much from that game. I'm just ready to jump in, and Gaiden made me excited for the game even more than I already was.
This
And I like
motherfucker...
7 so much that I know I'm gonna like this one.
This motherfucker paid for Gaiden. It came with a demo of Infinite Wealth and he chose not to play it.
I don't play demos. I don't.
Like,
Especially for a game that I know what I'm expecting, right? I know what Infinite Wealth's gonna play like. It's not a new thing. If they drop a demo for Metaphor ReFantasia, I'm gonna be there day one playing it. Because I don't know what that is,
right. I get what you're saying. That'd be like playing a demo for like Judgment 3 or something. Like, we already know what's going to happen.
I'm not gonna play a demo for Judgment 3.
I
I'll play
would.
it day one though, but
I
not
would.
a demo.
If Sega contacted me and say, "Hey, play this demo," I'd be like, "Yes, please."
Oh, well, that's different. If you have early access to a demo and you can make content on it, exclusive content, I would as well. But if you drop like a public demo, everyone gets to play it and everything. I don't have content to make about it. Nah, I'm good. I can wait.
No.
If it's something that I know what I'm playing, what I'm getting, right? If it's something new that I'm extremely excited for, oh shit, I'll play it.
Now, for the final part of the podcast, before we wrap things up, we got a few more topics to talk about that I just created in my head, of course, because we don't have any plans. But I kind of want to talk about the future of the franchise, if you don't mind, David.
Of course.
All the popularity that the series have garnered so far, do you think this will be the peak of the franchise, or do you think that Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth will help take it to new heights with how well it's reviewing and everything? And we'll talk about sales in a minute, but do you think that this will help it reach new heights of the series it's never seen before?
To the public's eyes, the answer is yes. As it is, as a game, I think it already peaked with 7. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know what they can do to make it that much better. If they give me an experience that is as good as 0 and 7, I have more than my money's worth. It's going to be one of the best games for me
And
of all time.
from the reviews, it seems like it's going to be exactly just that.
Yeah, if it can reach more fan and make more profit for Sega, and then we get more of these games, good. But as a game, I don't see how much better it can be, because again, it sounds like I'm simping, but these games, whenever I end them, whenever they're done, I put them on my shelf and I was like, I have nothing to complain about. That's the perfect game for me. It's right up my alley. It checks all of my boxes. Every single one of these games, but especially 7 and 0.
Do you think the general public views Yakuza Like a Dragon, the Yakuza / Like a Dragon series, as more than just GTA in Japan now?
I hope so.
I really hope so too. I got sick of those comparisons when I first got into the games.
They're very different, and to me, they're better.
Like, I mean, GTA does some weird shit, but like Yakuza does some really weird shit. Like, I played some stuff in the demo that is just gonna weird you out, dude. You're gonna love it. I promise.
I'm ready for it.
Like, I promise. Now, what do you think? RGG has said that there's something else coming after Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth this year. Let's
Really?
take time. Yes, they have
I didn't
something
know
else
that.
coming. Yes, they have something else coming this year, or
Dude,
they have
they're
another announcement after Like a Dragon
stop.
Infinite Wealth.
Let's stop for a second. They're fucking monsters. They're pumping out these releases like madmans. Gaiden was a 10 out of 10, and it came out 3 months ago.
You know what else is a 10
Two
out of
months
10?
ago. 2 months ago, dude. It
2
came
months
out
ago.
2 months ago.
Yes.
Holy shit. And now they're going to reveal something else, which is going to be a 10 out of 10 again. They're crazy. There's not a better development studio than RGG, man.
There is
The
not.
only studio who's pumping out games that are as good as RGG are doing it once per decade, and that's Atlas to me.
Dude,
RGG, they're doing it every 6 months, dropping a 10 out of 10 game.
and
Crazy.
people shit on them and say that they reuse their assets. Yeah, they smartly reuse their assets. And you know what? They deliver every single time with gripping stories and great characters. Yep. I know I'm just sucking on their dick right now, but I will take that dick and shove it all the way down my throat.
Dude, my cheeks are widespread.
Dude, yes, 1000%. For this series, 1000.
For RGG, yeah.
I was talking to a friend of our channel, Maka, earlier today. And I told him, straight up told him, I think that RGG's a better developer than Atlas right now. And we're Atlas content creators. We should say, Atlas is like the best thing right now. I think RGG's got him beat. I'm sorry. Like,
in terms of releases and misses, yeah, they are. Because Atlas misses all the time. When they win strong, dude. But when they lose, they lose. They really do. And RGG, I mean, I can count one miss in the last decade or so. And that's the lack of physical for Gaiden. That's on the publisher. That's
and the New Game Plus. That's a miss, too.
And the new, yeah, pretty much. But again, that's on the publisher. As a developer, they're perfect, man. Sorry. No one's perfect, I know, but I mean, to me, they are.
They're almost perfect. Like, they're right there. So I wanted to discuss with you, they said that there's an announcement coming after Infinite Wealth's release. What do you think that's going to be concerning? Do you think it could be, are we finally going to get fucking Kenzan? Are we going to get the Koryu series? Are we going to get a new Judgment game? What do you think is next for the series after this?
Honestly, I'll just say what I'd like to see because I have no idea what they're gonna do. To me, either localize in some type of remake form the games that we didn't get before, the PSP games, Kenzan, anything that we have not gotten before, just so I can just check another game from this amazing series that I love so much that I have not played. That would be awesome. But a Judgment game is the best case scenario to me because I like these games just so much. But then again, the third and final option is also perfectly fine to me, and it's just something completely new. Because if you look at Gaiden, jumped in with no expectations, and of course, it turned out to be peak. So right. RGG can do whatever they want, and it's going to be awesome. That's just where I'm at this point.
Now
it's not even fun to speculate on what they're gonna do. It's just gonna be great, no matter what they do. You know what I mean?
What did you think of Ishin?
Ishin was great. It was great. I had a lot of fun with it. It made me laugh quite a bit. The gameplay was really, really fun. The combat was some of the best combat in an RGG game, in my opinion. The story wasn't as good as other games. I still think it was good, but I think it would have been a better game if it was like just with original characters, Kiryu maybe, and other characters. Then I feel like it was forced in to bring all the other characters. I'm not sure if I'm clear with my train of thoughts here, but
no, I get it.
It's getting too much shit, though. I whenever I hear people talking about Ishin nowadays, it's to complain about it.
It's negative. People are like, no one cares about it. No one cared. I care.
Nah, I liked it. And if I were to go back tonight and play one of these games, I probably would go back to Ishin and do some of the side stuff that I missed. That's what I'd do tonight if I were to play a Yakuza game. So, it's to me, it's good. I get it, but I also get some of the complaints. It's It's not the best. It's probably not one of the best either, but it's still very good.
It's a fun
What
game.
about you?
And I would 1000% love a Kenzan remake in the eyes of like Ishin. I think we're overdue
Yep.
for that. We don't even have a way that we could play it with like on a modded PS3 with English subtitles. You have to look that up like with like a
Yeah.
guide and stuff right now.
I think Ishin flopped. That's the thing. I think it flopped.
Actually, they said it did well. Sega
They
said
did?
it did well.
Okay.
So it
good.
was maybe they said it did well internationally and everything. From what I remember, no, don't quote me. If someone could pull up an article, but I remember someone specifically saying that it did well.
But I'm glad to hear that because it feels like online, I feel like it flew under the radar very quickly.
It did. It did. It went on sale
Like,
pretty quickly.
it was half off, like just like Tactica. The week after it dropped, it was like half off. Just
Speaking
like
of,
Tactica was.
HGK says Yakuza Tactica.
Dude, they won. They won.
That would be very interesting, actually. I like the
have enough
gameplay of
characters.
Tactica, so I'd be down.
Dude, I'd even play a Muso game with Yakuza characters.
Yakuza X. They already have their own RGG online thing. So, but I get where you're going with that, Liam. Yakuza Q with like chibi versions of the characters. Dude, I'd be down. I'm down for almost anything RGG related at this point.
A porn game?
Featuring Akiyama, yes. I want to clap his cheeks so bad, dude. Oh my god. I think this is a good time to end the stream, don't you think so?
Oh man,
Dude,
that was great.
Final impressions of Infinite Wealth going into Friday. How do you think the game's going to sell, and how do you think you're going to react to it?
I think it's gonna break records in terms of sales because 7 made a huge impact. It was there at the new generation of platforms. It was there at launch, which really helped it. It was great critically. It kind of I don't like the word that I'm using, but you'll understand. It kind of rebooted the series in a way.
I mean, look at the change in genre.
I think it's fair to say. Yeah, it really helped with newer fans. So with the review scores now, it's a great time to release too. It's not like I know there's other JRPGs coming out soon, but I feel like a Dragon has a Western appeal that games like Grand Blue or Persona 3 Reload don't have. So I think it's gonna do very well regardless of when it's releasing.
Before we go on, that's another topic I did want to cover, but since I didn't have a sheet in front of me, then what do you think about this game releasing right there with like Persona 3 Reload, Grand Blue's coming out, Tekken 8, and then in a month we have fucking Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth?
Yeah. Well, I don't give a shit about Grand Blue. Don't give a shit about Tekken either. What did you say was the Reload? Yeah, Reload. I mentioned Reload in a sec. Rebirth. Rebirth, I'll play for sure. I'm not missing out on Rebirth, but I'm not playing that at launch. There's like too much else for me. So for me, it's all about Reload and Infinite Wealth. And I think these motherfuckers they really suck for putting out these two next to one another because these two are both games that are absolute day ones for me. Like I cannot wait to play both of these games. So it is very sad for me that they're bringing these two next to one another. That being said, I still think I'll be playing both at the same time or so because I know P3's story. But again, I hate to say it. I say it and it feels weird. I feel like I kind of want to say that I won't do this, but at the same time, I kind of will. It's hard to say. I don't do two RPGs at the same time normally. So
especially when they're so story heavy.
Yeah, dude, both over 100 hours for me. Definitely. Yakuza with it's going to be the lengthiest campaign that they said. Plus, I always do the side content. And Like a Dragon's side content was so good that this one is also going to be so good that it's definitely over 100 hours for me. And P3, the last time I played fucking Portable on PSP before I was about to say remaster, before the re-release came out, that was over 100 hours for me too. So big releases. But what do you think about this, dude?
I think Sega's fucking stupid for scheduling these two releases within a week of each other.
I agree.
What the fuck are you doing? There is definitely overlap in these fandoms.
Absolutely. You can notice that in a second. Dude, just go on an Atlas West tweet, okay? Today. They tweeted about Reload, right? Go on that tweet, look at the comment section. I bet I am ready to bet money on this. You can find minimum 10 Yakuza or Like a Dragon profile pictures in the reply.
Right.
Guaranteed.
Right.
Same thing for
1000%.
an Infinite Wealth tweet. RGG, look at the replies. You can find 10 Persona PFPs in the replies. 1000%.
Look at the stream we're fucking in right now. I'm sure most of the
Yeah.
people follow us on our Atlas channels.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, we're Atlas content creators, and our second channel is on Yakuza.
And we love it,
Bro.
by the way. Oh, I do want to break some news. No one else has heard this before, but the script for Yakuza in the West Part 2 is completed.
Hey.
All I have to do is do some voiceover and do some editing, but I hope to have it out hopefully by the end of February. Hopefully when I finish Infinite Wealth, I can really get started on that. Maybe have
Big
some
goals
time.
for February.
The Silent King, TSK, welcome to the stream. Hate that you're joining at the last minute, but welcome. He said, hey, Kamurocho Bros, are you ready for Infinite Wealth? I'm ready for infinite screenshots of Ichibuns and Hawaii.
Nice.
Dude, I love that the first thing we saw of this game, one of the first things we saw of this game is Ichiban's ass. Just millions of people watching the Microsoft showcase, and all of a sudden you just see Ichiban's ass out of nowhere. It was a beautiful thing.
Yep. 10 out of 10.
James Rambling says, I follow for Yakuza, not really Atlas. And that's fine, but there's definitely overlap, is what we're saying here.
Yes. Yeah.
But, so, you think the game's going to sell well, you said? Right? Even though it's,
I think it's going to be the biggest selling game in the franchise.
Now, do you think, like I mentioned, this and Persona 3 Reload are coming out within a week of each other.
Yeah.
Do you think, which one do you think will sell well, and do you think that, either one of them will hurt sales of the other game?
A little, probably, but then again, both of these games will be half off in 2 months. So I think it's fine. I don't think it's going to be too problematic. There's too much good for them not to sell well. I think Infinite Wealth's going to sell more than Reload, though.
Wow. That's a bold statement. I kind of agree, though.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
too.
Infinite Wealth has so much potential. Reload is going to do very well. I know you guys won't like what I'm about to say, but it's going to suffer from the lack of a Switch version. And
hey, this doesn't have a Switch version.
It does not.
So, I'm just
Reload?
saying. No, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth doesn't have a Switch version either.
It doesn't, but Reload is a game that would heavily benefit from a game like P3 Reload from the Switch, and Infinite Wealth not so much. It's established on the platforms that it's on, and it appeals to the Western audience even more than Persona does. Even though Persona does in a way, I'm aware. I don't think it's going to do as well as Infinite Wealth for sure. It's going to lose more copies of sales because of a game like Rebirth and Grand Blue than Infinite Wealth will, in my opinion. If you want to pick up two games, you don't get Grand Blue and Reload. You get Infinite Wealth and Grand Blue, or you get Infinite Wealth and Reload. Know what I mean?
Right. No, I get what
Infinite
you're saying.
Wealth works alongside these other games.
By the way, I don't know if Grand Blue's actually releasing, but I thought it was. I don't fucking know. I've been drinking.
I don't know about Grand Blue. I don't care.
I don't give a fuck. As far as me, I think the game's going to sell very well. Especially, they've been doing a lot of marketing for it. Drewski is a big name that they got for it, and I think they've been doing great on that side. I think this is the best probably marketing strategy that I've seen from Sega for one of these games ever, in my opinion. Word of mouth is really going to help this title as well. I think it's going to sell very, very well. Maybe even better than Reload. I'm not sure. But what are your final thoughts? And from what you've seen so far, do you think that this game will live up to the hype? And do you think you'll finally say, "Hey, I like this better than Yakuza Like a Dragon. I think this series has somewhere else to go, higher peaks and valleys."
I think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna have the same thoughts that I had with Like a Dragon. Like, wow, I can't believe this is right there next to my favorite Yakuza games. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna do just that. It's gonna be one of the best games in the franchise again, and hopefully, it gives us an idea of what's next for RGG and the Like a Dragon series.
And apparently we won't have to wait long to figure out what's
Yeah,
next.
which is crazy. Which
Like,
is really crazy.
But they're going to feed us for a while. Infinite Wealth is going to keep us busy for a while, and then I'm sure, like, by summer we'll know they'll have another summit, and we'll know what's happening next. I'm sure, which is just crazy to think about. They probably already got shit almost ready to drop. Like they probably got the next spinoff or something already done, or next remake. You know, they probably got like Kiwami 3 or something up their sleeves next, already almost done.
You still think that's an option?
I don't think Kiwami 3 is happening.
Because if they do Kiwami 3, to me, it's kind of like you commit to doing 4 and 5 as well.
They've already remastered it, but then again, look at what happened with Persona 3 Portable and then Reload. So,
yeah, that's a little different, though. It's easier to go back to Yakuza 3 in HD than to go back to Portable in HD.
And well, I would quote unquote HD for Persona 3 Portable. Right. Yakuza 3 still looks good, in my opinion. Yeah, some of the animations are stiff and everything, and it does feel like a game
animation.
Right.
Kiryu looks like he's fucking constipated.
Oh, I love the running animation. It's the worst thing ever. I love it so much.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
But it's great. It's definitely a game that you feel like you're playing a PS3 game, but that's better than playing Persona 3 Portable.
I like Persona 3 Portable. It has its charm.
You have your charm, too.
Thank you.
Thank you. One more drink for the road, sir? One more drink?
Yes. My glass is full.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Drinking and Kamurocho podcast for David Cash the RPGs. I am King Narakami. Look forward to more content soon, and have a good time playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Shout out.